This is Smörgåsbord!
Welcome to Smorgasbord, a show where we explore the rituals, myths, and all things strange about the world of food. I'm Mick, and here is my co-host.
Angel.
And this is just a continuation of the Hanami / Sakura festivals.
Yay.
Part 2.
Just here's a recap.
Yeah.
Sakura trees are pretty.
That is it. We spent 50 minutes to say that. Now we're going to spend another exuberant amount of time to say exactly that again. Now, this time we're going to talk more about what happens exactly at a Hanami festival and the smorgasbord part of it, which is the food.
The food part.
The food part. What exactly happens in a Hanami festival? Well, the festival itself, actually, I found is not really a festival the way most people tend to think of it. It's not like it's a big crazy thing where people just hang out. It's not like the Ramadan festival or all the other festivals that we've covered. The wine bathing festival that we did a few years ago. This festival is more pretty chill. It's really more about spending time with friends or family and enjoying the flowers for a day.
I mean, yeah, all the pictures I see of it is just like a big picnic or whatever.
Yeah. I feel like it's more accurate to say it's a Hanami time than a Hanami festival. You know, there's no
Yeah.
it's not a formal thing. It's just if the cherry
It's like a
blossoms are out.
season.
Yeah.
It's a season.
Exactly that. Where it's like come down when where the flowers are out and just enjoy it. That's all there
just
is
chill.
to it. Yeah. People gather in the parks or the places under the trees and have picnics or what they call
And
parties.
now it's a bad idea
Yeah, no, it is.
to do that.
Do it on your own. Maybe it's one
It
tree
might have
per
been
person.
a good idea before.
Yeah, now it's person can go enjoy the flower.
Now you have to like fight for the space.
Yeah.
Since you have to be distanced. That means you can't cluster, which means there's less space for people to occupy, which means they have to fight to the death.
Sure. Best.
That's a different festival.
You trade foods, and whoever poisons the other one more wins.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah. To many people, though, in reality, this whole time is more about just being able to seize the day. It's really just a time to like, woo! Let's have fun.
I'm down for that.
It's a time to enjoy the beauty of life in both the sad and the happy parts of it. There's food, there's booze, there's karaoke. People apparently tend to play some music from their phones and just, sing out.
Just chill.
In parks, there might be some food stalls, some music, maybe even some dance shows at most. Some people might wear kimonos or costumes during this time. It's generally just wear something nice and colorful. Each tree may even have a story for each person, so some people might have a tradition out of this. They go out to a specific tree every year and pay their respects, which, goes all the way back to the origins of this ritual or festival. Some people, though, are just there for the food. There is a Japanese term apparently called Hana Yogi Dango, which is also an anime called Boys Over Flowers. But Hana Yogi Dango really means more like dumplings rather than flowers, or puddings over praise, or meat over clothes or fancy clothes. The idea is really just the practical over the aesthetic. Enjoy the food rather than enjoy the flowers.
I don't know if I agree. I'm all about the aesthetics.
You're all about the food.
I'm all about both. Why can't you have both?
I'm sure you could. This is just one of the sayings for it. I don't know.
Yeah, no, definitely both.
Yeah. I don't know which one is the dumplings or the flowers of Hana Yogi Dango.
Dango is the dumpling.
Oh, okay.
I don't even think dumpling is like the right translation. It's just like
might not be it. It's
food.
it's more like a, what do you call that? Like a saying than anything. Yeah.
Well, odongos are little balls.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Dango, dango, dango.
Yes.
Solved.
This is
um,
from many years of anime watching. Been trained.
hey, it works. And then some people just also, like you said, just travel through the bullet train system to enjoy the sights of the trees.
Yeah, that sounds great. I want to do that.
Yeah, so for you to enjoy the Hanami festival, whatever works for you. There's no
Many
rules or
dongos.
westernizing it with so many regulations. Just enjoy, man. Just don't.
Don't be stupid. It's like
Exactly.
I feel like regulations are made for people with no common sense or respect for like public space.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure they have rules
Just
now in
like
Hanami
just don't be a
Festival.
dick. That's like the easiest.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick. Why do I have to be specific about what dickish things you can't do? You should just know this
Yeah.
as a respectable human being. This gets
It's
me
like
really mad.
in random during this time in Japan, they just have signs with an American flag in English.
And then just
Don't
like
be
a big
dick.
X. Like, don't do that.
Can't be
Guns,
fixed.
no.
Yeah.
Sandwiches, yes.
Yeah, sandwiches, yes. Guns, no. But there is also another term for the nighttime version of the Hanami, which is
Ooh,
just
this is cool.
it's just called Yosakuga, which I guess is just night sakura.
Oh, that's cute though.
Yeah,
Sounds
Yosakura
cute.
is just night sakura. It's just a time to enjoy the flowers at night.
Sucker
What's
all day and night, bitch.
exactly
What?
what's nice about the Yosakura though is that places usually light a bunch of paper lanterns or hang different lights on the trees or just put the lanterns all around the place. So it's just this it's freaking pretty, man. If you ever see a cherry blossom tree at night with lights around it, it's pretty.
I just so vigorously nodded my head that I shook my entire desk.
It almost fell off
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. It's like you'll see this and be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe we
Yeah.
shouldn't own guns.
One can only hope.
Speaking of common sense things, these are some things to bear in mind when you're doing this. First of all, check if you're even allowed to eat or drink in wherever you're going to spend time looking at sakura trees. And second of all, make sure you're even allowed to be there. Like, don't trespass for a tree.
Common sense.
Respect.
Don't throw garbage everywhere.
That's another one.
Don't harass other people. Don't set things on fire.
Yeah.
Don't pee in public.
I just have here. Be mindful of your space, or don't be American.
Yeah.
Don't make a mess. Don't be too loud. Have fun, but respect your neighboring people. You could have fun and be loud, but still be respectful and not too loud.
Yes. And if anyone's like, can you please stop being so loud? You just turn it down a little bit.
It's not an attack on your personal being.
No. Some people just have no concept of like inside voice. It's like they have to yell all the time so loudly. And like, you're standing right here. Like, dude, why are you yelling? He's like, I'm not yelling. He's, I have a specific person in mind for this.
I do too. Some people do just have loud voices, but yeah, they for the most part, when people are staring at you weirdly, it's not because they're attacking you personally. It's just maybe you're being disrespectful to them. So just chill. Drink responsibly as well, and most importantly, and I think this one I can't stress enough: treat the trees with respect. These trees don't exist for you to pillage or abuse. Don't scratch them or damage the branches by pulling on it. Don't take a branch as a souvenir. Let the leaves and flowers fall on their own. And also don't set up shop on the root of a tree because you don't want to also actually permanently damage a tree to kill it. Yeah, just general bits of respect. There's a way to enjoy things that doesn't have to be affecting other people around. When it comes to Hanami around the world, Sakura Matsuri is actually celebrated all around the world now. A big part of it is because Japan also gifted countries with sakura trees as a token of their culture or peace or as a gift or, whatever. Here you go, have a tree. It's beautiful.
Sure, I'll take
Yeah.
one. I want a little mini version.
Yeah. I wonder if you could bonsai a sakura.
Bonsai.
We did just get
Probably
a bunch
not,
of
because the flowers would be too big for
it'd be so cute, like if the flowers bloom in tiny versions.
tiny. Yeah, that'd be.
We bought a bunch of Japanese not a bunch, but my mom got a bunch of Japanese maples for her garden because she's redesigning her garden right now. And
Hmm.
they're so beautiful.
Yeah, those are pretty. The colors are like insane.
Yeah. When it comes to the United States, the cherry blossoms were celebrated officially at from since 1912 with the National Cherry Blossom Festival. This happened because Japan donated over 3,000 cherry trees to the US as a gift of the bond between the two countries. And as we are all about food, we have finally hit the point where we want to talk about food, which is the food that you could have at the Hanami Festival. Just like the festival itself, there are really no specific foods unique to be bringing in these picnics or hanging out with friends. Generally, just bring food is a good rule. If you're hanging out with friends, don't be the one that does not bring food for everyone to share. Or don't be the one that brings food but doesn't share with your friends. But here are some common foods that you could have. Generally speaking, you'd like to bring food that is easy to eat because you're outdoors, you might be walking and enjoying the trees, so you don't want to be too engrossed with a big meal. Or you might be, who knows. Some common food you could have are onigiris, which are rice balls wrapped in seaweed, filled with pickled plums, fish, or even sometimes during this time, you would infuse it with salted cherry blossom leaves.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
I don't even know what those leaves taste like, but
they're pretty, they're
I
not
go to. I wonder
heavily
if they have it
tasty.
at Fujiya.
They
Buy some.
might. I feel like I've
Yeah.
seen these before. We might be able to just grab some cherry leaves
From
that
the
have fallen.
outside and
Yeah,
just like.
and make it.
But I feel like there would be some kind of ingredient that we don't know about.
Yeah, you tend to vinegar them and then salt them after, so they're pickled. You could also have sushi with chirashi rice bowls, which is a rice bowl sushi, or inari, which is deep fried tofu skin with rice. All the stuff that you hate.
Yep.
But there are also sweets that you could enjoy during the Hanami festival, or wagashi. Wagashi is just Japanese confections usually had you eat with tea. I guess like English biscuits,
English biscuits.
but much funner. There's the Hanami dango, which is, as we mentioned, dango is dumplings. The Hanami dango is a variation of which is more specific to during this time. What makes this specific is that they're colored. It's a triple colored dango. So three,
Oh, it's like green, white, and pink.
yeah. So there are three dangos put into a skewer. Their dangos are these dumplings are like round. They're circle rice,
Circle. Yeah. On a
uh,
stick.
and they're sweetened. So these kind of dumplings are sweet to rice balls, kind of put on a stick. They're kind of like mochi, but they're skewered.
I always wanted to try these. I just don't even
They
know what
look
they're made of.
rice.
Rice, yeah.
The reason why it's white, pink, and green is because it's the color of the sakura tree.
Yeah, the leaf and the flowers.
Exactly. Another sweet you could have is the wagabi nochi. Sorry, wagabi mochi, which is made of the starch of a wagabi, which is a type of fern, and then turned into a square cake. It's chewy, jelly-like, and usually served with kogobitsu syrup, which is brown sugar, and soybean powder.
Mm,
It's a very light sweet. It's kind of very almost flavorless. So it's a kind of more like for the texture.
nice.
Usually enjoyed with some matcha tea. The next one, which is what you mentioned happened in Ranma, is the Sakura mochi, which are rice cake or rice balls with red bean paste and then wrapped in a salted cherry blossom leaf.
Never mind. I was gonna say I really want to try it, but I don't like red beans.
You could change it. You could put something else in it or just not
Yeah,
have it.
not red beans.
Yeah. Other food you could have is it's common to bring miso soup in a thermos because you want to have something nice and warm for the evening. You could have tsukemono, which are pickled vegetables. Some salads are pretty common to bring. Some grilled meats, kagage, which is fried
Fried
chicken,
stuff.
or ebi fry, which is fried prawns, usually battered. I think also battered prawns. There's also a thing called hanami bento, which is a bento box, like a little lunch box for hanami. Generally speaking, a hanami bento would have some inagi sushi, tamagoyaki, which is Japanese omelette, sushi rolls, grilled fish, vegetables, and pink and white fish cakes to again mimic the color of a sakura.
Oh, that's why the fish cakes were pink.
Yeah,
I've always
right?
wondered.
Me too. But yeah, so usually when you see these, it's more for Hanami. In terms of street food, common street foods tend to be more like okonomiyakis, which are pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I really want to try like
So
an authentic one. Like I've had one here, but I don't know how close that is to.
they're pretty close. I feel like when we had an okonomiyaki in Japan, I can't remember what city right now. It was the first meal we had when we went to Japan last year, and it was so good.
Mm.
There's a I guess it's a tourist effect, the traveler's
Yeah.
effect, that things taste better when you
Tastes
travel.
better. Really?
But
I feel like the opposite.
really,
I think I have higher expectations in my head and I actually eat stuff. I'm like, eh,
maybe.
yeah.
I feel like my theory, at least with this one, is I might have these higher expectations, but it's just that ingredients are so much better outside of North America.
It's true.
Like
Yes.
plants, fruits, and vegetables there's a difference in fresh fruits and vegetables around the world than fruits and vegetables here.
No, it's true. Yeah.
And it maybe has something to do with farming practices here or whatever. But I remember even in um, Europe, like in Italy, the
The
tomatoes
dairy was
just
so
unreal.
good.
Yeah, even the meat, like the lamb that I had there were like different textures and flavors that I've never experienced in my life until I got there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just being a traveling prick.
No, you're right.
But yeah, I
Like
think so
I was
too.
eating so much dairy when I was in Europe because it was just better.
Other common street food is takoyaki, which are
Yes, my favorite.
octopus balls.
Did you
Balls
know
of
that
octopus.
someone we know
Mm-hmm.
owns a takoyaki maker?
Ooh.
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 Who's the one Japanese person we know?
Oh, Kaiko.
Yes.
We should have had Kaiko in this episode. What are we doing?
I don't know. We didn't plan very well.
No, we don't. We should
We'll,
bring.
we'll do an honorary another Japanese food episode.
Yeah,
We'll
shut
bring
up.
her.
Yeah.
But now you know she has a takoyaki maker to make handmade homemade takoyaki.
All right. She's okay. We'll have her as a guest so we could convince her to do that for us.
Yes, please.
All right. Done deal. In terms of drinks, sake is a common drink to have. Tea and sakura flavored beer are some options you could have. There's also sakura flavored sake. Sake. When it comes to some common decency stuff, if you're invited to hang out, bring one food or drink item to share. Also, remember to bring a tarp or a picnic blanket so you don't have to sit in the grass.
Unless that's your thing.
Yeah, unless that's your thing. But it does get cold and dewy, so.
I mean, that could also be your thing.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Do what you want.
Do what you want. There ain't no laws.
And some might be also asking, you could actually use Sakura in many different ways for your food. Different parts of the tree can make for different flavors for the food. There's the salted pickled petals that we mentioned, which is a matter of grabbing the petals and pickling them in vinegar, and then once dried, salting them as well. You could also eat the petals fresh. You could grind the powder. Sorry, you could grind the leaves into powders. You could also pickle and salt the leaves. You could extract or get the essence of a sakura, usually by boiling the leaves or flowers and letting it evaporate. In terms of flavor, the petals itself don't usually have much flavor on its own or fresh.
Yeah, I was really wondering about this one.
Yeah, they're not really flavorful. Usually, you want to freeze dry them or pickle them with vinegar and salt. Essentially, what it does is it concentrates the flavor. But even when you concentrate it, the taste itself is pretty subtle. It's sweet, generally speaking, with a very subtle floral fragrance. I've tried sakura flavored stuff. I've tried to find people try to explain what sakura tastes like. It's really hard to explain.
It's so subtle.
But it tastes and smells like sakura. That's it. It's generally sweet as well. So you get
It's
a tinge
like
of
tart.
sweetness.
It's
Yeah.
got like a tartness.
Yeah.
From what I understand, like I don't think I fully comprehend that that's what it tastes like.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I get you. I don't know how
Uh,
to explain it, and I don't get it either. But once you try it, you're like, that's Sakura.
okay. Yeah, but it's also like not super floral. Like if you've ever eaten anything that's like lavender, it's very
Yeah.
like
No, no,
fragrant. It's not like that at all.
not at all. Or what are the other floral flavors? Yeah,
Like
like
rose even.
chamomile or rose. Yeah, those are very strong floral flavors. This one is it's like rose flavor but toned down a million.
Like 25 million
Yeah,
notches.
yeah,
But then it also has like a tart kind of.
yeah. It's like a
Like it's
sweet
almost like a bear. I want to say almost like a sour berry, but not but like
kind of, yeah.
the vitamin water version.
And the reason you do get the sourness is because when you heat or pickle sakura, it brings out a little bit of slight sourness in it as well. So you could have that sweet flavor, that sour flavor, but the floral part it's really hard to explain what the floral part feels like. The closest I could explain it is it's like rose, but cut down a million times.
Yeah, yeah, it's like not noticeable. You can very easily miss it.
It's very soft and very light, which is super nice, especially during spring. Like you don't want a heavy, sweet flavor. This having a nice sakura mochi, oh.
Mick has been crit.
Well,
By
especially now, I've been crit, yeah. With the sun out and you could feel the spring really coming, I would die for some sakura mochi. Like even a hanami dango right now.
I'm going to Fujiya tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah. Let me know if you could find any.
Yeah.
But what can you make with this sakura flavor? Literally anything from what I found. There's sake, sakura lattes, sakura tea. The sakura tea is just green tea with sakura petals infused in it as well, which is again bringing out that subtle flavor. When it comes to food, we mentioned put it in inari and onigiri. Essentially, you could flavor your sushi rice with sakura flavored water. So you boil the rice with sakura flavor as well. You could also infuse sakura into an, which is uh, sort of a sweet or a pastry, I guess, in Japan. Or not a pastry, sorry, more like a sweet, I guess. It's made of sweetened white bean paste, or which is called shigo an, where you get the an from. And then chopped up, you could mix up the chopped up salted sakura leaves there. The dish itself tends to be white, but you could color it with pink to give it that sakura feel to it.
Feels so cute.
Another dish is yokan, which is a jelly dessert made with smoothed sakura an. It's essentially the smoother version of an. And it mixed with agar agar, which is kanten, which makes it turn into a jelly. Agar agar, is that how do Westerners pronounce it? Agar agar or agar agar?
How do you spell it?
Agar.
Agar? Agar?
Or in Japanese, it's just kanten.
Agar? Oh,
I
okay.
think it's agar, yeah. It's what we use in the Philippines to make jelly stuff.
Ooh. I wasn't even aware that that's a thing. So
Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Speaking of that, kanten itself is a dish. It's kind of like yokan, but instead of I think yokan is like whitish. This one is clear gelatin. So they just use the agar agar, and then they put a sakura petal in it. So you have this beautiful square jelly that's super clear with a sakura petal inside. It's pretty.
It's pretty.
Again, mochis is a rice cake, and you could flavor that with sakura. Another one is domyoji, which is like mochi but not as smooth. You could see the grains in the rice still.
Okay.
So
It has not
similar,
been pounded enough.
not pounded exactly. It's not pounded enough. It kind of looks like some versions of the calamai, which is the booger dish that we covered from the Philippines.
Mmm, yummy.
And then this one is wrapped in the salted sakura leaf as well. Another one is manju, which is a steamed dough filled with sweet bean paste with chopped sakura leaves and petals in it. I feel like you wouldn't enjoy this one because it's both dough and bean.
My enemies.
Yep. And then there's senbei, which is a savory rice cracker flavored with sakura salted leaves or flour. So you can see that they just generally speaking, they put Sakura in both sweet and savory dishes. Then you could also put it in macarons, cakes, cookies, even milk pudding. Apparently very
Ooh,
popular.
that sounds good.
Yeah. Is it healthy or is it good, as we ask in every episode? Hanami itself, or flower viewing, I think is super healthy. Good time
Oh
to
yeah.
just
Good
peace.
time. Good for your psyche.
Yeah.
It's
Super
pretty.
relaxing. It's pretty.
Pretty.
That's just the name of the episode.
It's pretty.
Sakura. It's pretty.
Pretty.
When it comes to, is it good? Oh man, all this Japanese food is just getting me hungry.
Yeah, it's good except for the bean part.
The bean part. What do you call that? The Sakura flavor itself is tasty. It's not strong in flavor, so I feel like a lot of Westerners or Americans might not enjoy the Sakura flavor because it's very subtle.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice to like not eat something that's overwhelmingly heavy.
Yeah.
Even though I do like spices to be heavy-handed, but it's like a nice change.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely nice and subtle. I don't know what our next episode's going to be, but we want to get Kaiko involved because
she has a takoyaki maker.
Yeah. That's enough reason for us to bring a guest in. Takoyaki.
How about we just do an entire episode about takoyaki?
Yeah, why not? Just do takoyaki.
Maybe she could just like make it live on Zoom.
But we need to be eating something. There's no way we're gonna survive a full episode.
We're just gonna watch her from afar and just like drool.
Yeah. I'm down.
We can have like all the yakis. She can be making takoyaki and then like buy some kind of yaki.
Teriyaki?
I was thinking taiyaki.
Taiyaki.
It's
what's
like
the noodle
fish...
yaki? Yakisoba? I'll make yakisoba. Yeah.
Okay. I'm talking about the fish dessert.
Oh yeah. The bread one, right?
Yeah.
But those have red bean in it.
No, you can put other stuff in it.
Oh, that's true.
Custard or other flavors. Nutella
sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be a fun episode. We get all yaki.
That sounds good.
Okay.
And we know you just want to see Kaiko make takoyaki.
No.
Yeah. And then like you'll see me go missing in my screen. I'm gonna show up at her house.
I gave up on the yaki. The taiyakis just said bye yaki. Okay.
Oh yeah, bye yaki to this episode.
Bye yaki.
Bye. This is Smörgåsbord. This show was created by Angel Lin and Mick Narciso, hosted by Angel Lin and Mick Narciso, edited by Mick Narciso and Bianca Goico, logo and graphics by Angel Lin, music by Mick Narciso, and videography by Bianca Goico. The show is produced by Geek Happy Network, constantly curious about the things we love. If you enjoyed listening to Smörgåsbord, remember to subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Remember to leave a review. We would love to hear your thoughts.